So in life, sometimes you have to overcome times where you're a little bit afraid of approaching a particular person or doing something. And I find that numerous times throughout the weeks that I am working on various different types of projects. And what I say to myself is, I can't be afraid of someone not agreeing. And that's something that was always something that was a concern of mine entering into this world of entrepreneurship. You can't be afraid of failure. You can't be afraid of pivoting. You can't be afraid of people not agreeing with your opinions, right? So there was this one time with my Broadway shows, I always have the opportunity to work alongside some really great producers and directors and musical directors and actors and actresses. And throughout the month, I have different Zoom meetings whereby we talk about the production and how well it's doing, if it's not doing well, what could be improved upon, what could change to make it better. I remember this one time I was just a little bit afraid to express my opinion because I didn't know the reaction of the producers or the directors. There were probably about maybe 20 to 30 people on the Zoom call. I said to my colleagues, I don't really necessarily like a particular thing on the production, and I wanted to express my opinion on how I think I could make it better. And that was a little bit of a challenge for me, right, to overcome that fear of, hey, or other people not going to agree with my opinions. And after I did that, I almost felt like a relief. I just overcame something that I was nervous or a little bit afraid of doing. And interestingly enough, as a result of me, expressing my opinion on that particular matter, on how I could change a little bit of the marketing and maybe a little bit of the lines, actually a lot of the people agreed with me. So sometimes in life, you just have to just do it. Just like what Nike's motto is. This could apply to anything, a friendship, a romantic relationship, or being an entrepreneur. Facing your fears is just crucial important to try to overcome them, because you never know what the result could be, right? Like in my scenario, I think it's important to face those fears and jump in and do it. And hopefully, majority of the time when you do face those fears and expressing your opinion, that other people feel the same exact way. What I feel is that about maybe 50% of the time when I express my opinions, people agree with what I say, and the other 50% of the time they don't. And what I say to myself is, it just can't hurt. They often say, no question is a bad question. I mean, some people may be embarrassed. I remember when I was at University of Pennsylvania, I remember I was in one class, and it was just like, there were certain topics that I just didn't understand. And there were like hundreds of people in the class. I raised my hand and I asked the question. There's hundreds of other people in the class. I think it was just a very simple question that the professor answered, but he answered it. I wrote it down on my notes, and I didn't really care what other people thought about the question, even though it could have been very simplistic and very easy. But I overcame that fear of asking a question, jumping in and doing it. Because who knows, out of those hundreds of people in that classroom, maybe there was 1 or 2% of those people that had the same question that I had, but was afraid to jump in and ask that question.